Welcome back to Peepo Coin Channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. So, wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. We are going to discuss XRP. Additionally, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, Uphold's actions with yield are causing a network impact. Now, everyone is attempting to take advantage of this. Bytrue is the source of this. All XRP fans, take note. Begin earning XRP and increase it. For deeper liquidity access, staking, PowerPiggy, Launch Pool, and listing of XRP Ledger ecosystem tokens, Bitrue now offers you access to more than 80 XRP pairs. However, it doesn't stop there. BitGet as well as Doppler Finance. The biggest universal exchange in the world, BitGet, has formally joined forces with Doppler Finance. By working together, we are enabling millions of users globally to access safe, transparent, and verified XRP yield prospects. And this is only the start. Hold off till that institutional adoption occurs. Hold off until the institutions enter this area. They will create a plethora of opportunities for us to profit from our cryptocurrency. Additionally, many of them will be risk-free. Earning dividends and staking your cryptocurrency always carries some risk. However, in the future, there won't be any more risks. What's fantastic about this, though? You are never required to sell your cryptocurrency. Without selling, you might earn money each month from your cryptocurrency. In this manner, you could see the value of the cryptocurrency you own increase over time. However, everyone wants to take advantage of the current XRP yield. In fact, whenever Ripple announces a new XRP partnership or acquisition, we have never seen it compare itself to any other cryptocurrency. However, examine other coins. They quickly bring up XRP as a point of comparison if they secure a new relationship. This indicates unequivocally that XRP is the norm. That was an excellent post, in my opinion. Take a look at Solana's current situation. Every now and then, the next coin appears and everyone claims that it is the XRP killer. The reason for this is because XRP is the cryptocurrency that scares them the most. Because they are aware of its potential, everyone is afraid of this coin. The trend of leading cryptocurrency projects directly comparing their payment capabilities to XRP is noted by market watchers. This is where you can see it. You know, Ripple is the best substitute for Swift in terms of payments. And I'm telling you, everyone who is fighting on this coin or ignoring it will never hear from them again once XRP begins to flow on all of those Ripple rails around the world. They will feel a great deal of remorse for not purchasing XRP while they had the opportunity. You look at everyone who discusses XRP, after all. I'm referring to the BIS, the IMF, and so forth. Long ago, they told you that XRP was the way of the future. The same is true for XLM. You know, in the near future, XLM is going to move a ton of money. You won't hear about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana when the new financial system eventually launches, I promise. In the future, utility will be the most important factor. Start studying derivatives if you really want to profit from blockchain. Listen to this out. Don't worry about sending money back to your uncle in France if you're interested in blockchain and want to earn money. You should be thinking about this. This represents the GDP of the global economy as a whole. All derivatives are based on this notional basis. With the exception of interest rate swaps, all of these are derivatives and are forward futures and options. These interest rate swaps are right here. Most of you have never heard of the largest universe. It is possible to add millions of lawyers, traders, and accounts on the blockchain. And Dodd-Frank is like this thick, this much of it. And all of this clearing system and settlement system that we took has to do with clearing and settling swaps. All right, it's a mess and a nightmare. Additionally, we can use distributed ledgers to streamline the entire system. And Ripple had it in mind from the beginning. There are 100 quadrillion drops of XRP as Ripple targets the quadrillion-dollar derivatives market. Smoke continues. Since that was the market that Ripple was primarily targeting, XRP was created with the size of global derivatives in mind from the start. Cross-border transfers and banks weren't as prevalent. They simply need to take a small portion of the derivatives market, which is what they plan to do. Suddenly, we are looking at $1,000 worth of XRP. And all the pieces are coming together to make that happen. Even in 2023, when Ripple joined ISDA, it claimed a 1.2 trillion and 1.4 quadrillion market share in derivatives. People are concerned about Western Union and Solana, even if everything had started a long time ago. Brad, it appears that there is no worldwide agreement on cryptocurrency. Even though it's early, the next 16 years will be much better than the previous 16, as actual applications that go beyond conjecture finally surface. Listen to it. I believe you're proving that there isn't a universal agreement on cryptocurrency, if I may say so. Even during this discussion, and I agree that it's still early, in part because some of these issues are not universally agreed upon. Additionally, I believe that several of the use cases were still very early in terms of how they were scaled. One example that has begun to establish a scaled use case centered around a stablecoin is Circle. However, I believe that the cryptocurrency sector will improve over the next 16 years because applications that have only been speculation or stories about stores of value will finally start to appear. Brad is saying that we're moving on from the value shop. We are moving away from conjecture. These days, everything revolves around actual utility, real-world applications, and the transition from traditional to digital systems. But first and foremost, regulations are necessary for all of that to occur. I want to know if Amazon is entitled to the Xrp Escrow. Investors in digital assets are the source of this. You see, everyone will be talking about XRP when an Amazon agreement is disclosed. On that day, millions of consumers will purchase XRP. As a result, this collaboration is being put off until later. According to David Schwartz, XRP cannot be circulated until its release date, even if Ripple sells the right to receive the tokens released from escrow, or even the accounts the escrow completes into. In order for customers to purchase that escrow in advance, that escrow might be given to them in advance. However, until the release date on the 1st of each month, that XRP cannot be in circulation. Therefore, I'm curious as to how much of that escrow will wind up in the hands of, say, central banks, Amazon, or other businesses. As of yet, we truly don't know. What percentage of that escrow has already been paid? Many people tell me that the IMF will receive the largest share of the escrow, probably 10 billion XRP. However, no one can be certain of that. Speculation is still going strong on all of that escrow. The same goes for the claims that by the end of this year, all of the NDAs will be revealed at once. The expiration date of the NDAs is unknown to you. No one knows when they expire. As those NDAs do expire, I believe we will eventually receive announcements, but don't anticipate a deluge of NDA news to reach the cryptocurrency world. Simultaneously, it would be illogical for such to occur. Journalists, all indication is that XRP and the XRP ledger will be utilized following the implementation of the regulations. And all this time, I have been saying that. Until laws are put in place, nothing will actually happen. All of Ripple's current actions are preparing for regulations, which should be implemented before the midterms. By the end of this year, I hope they have those rules in place. Many bills are still pending from Washington. Naturally, though, everything will be further delayed due to this government shutdown, and that's XRP's sole feature. I simply don't understand. Every time we wait for something to happen with this coin, there is a delay after delay. Thus, we must be holding the most amazing cryptocurrency ever created. The Ripple v. SEC lawsuit was the first. We can observe how long the delay was. Do you recall the days in 2022, 2023, and 2024 when everyone believed the case would end on this day? The ETFs are now being approved. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thank to all. The next one will see you. Enjoy your evening.